What's going on? What's going on?
Well, welcome everybody in. What's good? What's good, everybody? You're now tuned in to the Great Minds Think Alike live stream, brought to you by GMTA Media, hosted by Young No and my brother Orlito. What's the good word, my brother?
Not much, bro. Just chilling.
Go ahead. I'm trying
How
to
you
mute
doing?
this out. So far, so good, bro. Can't complain over here. Trying to get everything together behind the scenes, bro. What's anything new cooking this week?
Um, shit. I was in the studio yesterday for a little bit with my artist, my secret artist that I ain't gonna tell nobody about. Only a couple of people know. We was just working on some. We was just going through a beat selection, trying to structure a EP that we're finna start working on. How about yourself?
Not much, bro. I've been how you say rough drafting stuff behind the scenes. So by the time we get back in 2 weeks, we have some fresh stuff going on, but not much, bro. Just rough drafting, you could say, man. But ready to get into some shits right quick. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Let me check out the comments. Reno the
Oh,
Don, appreciate you, Brody.
yeah. Let me put. I forgot. I'm on the YouTube. Let me put it
I
on.
try to get Bro on for the second half of the show, but he's out watching his grandson play some basketball. Best of luck to your grandson.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? For sure. Family first. So yeah, man. So again, sorry for the mishaps at the beginning. Welcome back. You're now tuned in to the Great Minds Think Alike live stream brought to you by GMTA Media, hosted by Nova and my brother Orly. We already got the intros out the way. For this episode, you know, the marathon continues. And we're going to start off with our regular GMTA news or whatnot, but we got a special guest. He's part of the GMTA family, none other than the homie Daniels.
And Daniels.
What's good, Brody?
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
going on?
yeah.
What's going on?
What's going
What's good
on?
with you, family, man?
Man, ready to talk this topic, man.
Yeah, I know, man. First and foremost, thank you for joining us. We
For
appreciate you taking
sure.
the time out. And second of all, man, we appreciate all the love and support and the engagement throughout the beginning of this, what we call the Great Minds Think
Hell
Alike
yeah.
live stream, bro. We don't even like to call you a viewer, no, you the family, bro. We appreciate that for sure, man.
For
For sure.
sure.
You know, and you're more than welcome at any time. Whenever you see a topic like Nove or Lethal, I want to jump on that. Come on, you be the honorary third co-host. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
like that. I
There we
like
go. Let's get it.
that.
For sure, for sure. So let's get people familiar. I know my bro was just telling me before we went live that you be cooking up. So tell us a little bit, or tell the audience and myself a little bit about yourself and what you be got going on.
Man, Milwaukee born and raised. You already know that. Um, as far as the music, I slowed down on the music, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I put that on the back burner. We was definitely cooking some stuff for a minute though. I ain't gonna lie, that was coming out nice, but they weren't paying no bills, you know what I'm saying? I can't lie about that one. So right now it's just
For sure.
full-time dad, full-time student right now. I can't lie to you. I need this money. I'm a hustler.
Yeah, that
That's
is
what's
good,
up.
bro. Ain't
Back
nothing
in the
wrong
verse,
with
bro.
that. Nothing wrong with that, bro. But again, like we said, we appreciate all the love and support, and we're gonna run through some news, and then we get into some topics. So let me start off by sending our condolences. Former heavyweight boxing champ George Foreman passes away at the age of 76. 1974, George Foreman will meet Ali in a bout billed as the Rumble in the Jungle. He would lose that championship and retire 2 years later. He would return to boxing 10 years later, and 6 years after that he would make history by becoming the oldest heavyweight champion of the world at the age of 45 years old. Any
Yeah.
memories of George Foreman y'all like to share, fellas, before we go on?
Man, I was gonna bring
Yeah,
up them
I
grills. The grills, bro.
the
The
real
grills.
yeah, I just remember I remember the way he used to block me. You know what I'm saying? He used to block like this and shit.
Yeah,
Um he was just a big ass dude, bro. You know what I'm saying? He used to throw his body around. But,
devastating puncher, devastating puncher.
mm,
So let's go on. Parole denied for Yolanda Saldivar, known for killing Selena back
yeah.
in 1995. So they decided she's gonna stay in. Um,
It's probably
Yellow
that's
Beats,
probably in her best interest.
some devoted fans, huh?
Didn't she just get a
Yeah.
documentary or something?
A
I heard something
documentary, you
like that
said?
was gonna happen.
Yeah,
A documentary, you
I
said?
heard
yeah,
I
yeah.
heard that was
Something.
that something like that. I don't know if it was released or they was working on something like that, but I also heard something like that.
Something through Hulu.
Yeah, I know that a lot of fans were like in anticipation to hear what would be the outcome of that verdict, but it's been denied, and probably that saved her life.
Yeah.
Yellow Beezy has been charged with capital murder in connection to the 2020 killing of fellow Dallas rapper Mo 3. His bill was set at 2 million, but it was reduced to 750,000. Police are claiming Beezy paid someone to shoot and kill Mo 3. Any
Mm.
thoughts on that, fellas?
This shit crazy. That shit. I seen that footage that they released. Uh, where it looked like Mo 3 is like scrambling, looking for something in the car. Probably is like a strap. It don't look like he found anything. I don't know. Like that seems kind of odd. Like I don't know. I had heard some shit before about somebody like
Everything together behind the
moving
scene.
that gun or some shit, but I'm not really sure.
So I
Yeah.
ain't paying attention to their beef. Well, like they was beefing like that.
Yeah, I
Yeah, it
didn't know they was
started
beefing
over.
like that, but
Yeah, it really got out of control because of a comedian out there. A
Okay.
comedian really.
mm,
It was a comedian out from Dallas, Texas, who had actual beef with Yellow Beezy in his camp and whatnot. So the footage you talking about, yeah, that's some crazy ass footage. Them guys went to do a
right on the
job and
highway.
they were not leaving until that job was done. And
Hmm.
the thing is, Yellow Beezy is implicated as far as like the Dirk situation, the murder for hire, right? But I don't want to like toss nobody under the bus or whatnot, but this kind of raises flags as far as Yo Gotti goes and the situation with Dolph because
Mhm.
if you remember, they said it was Jook and CMG. Jook is no longer here. CMG could
Hmm.
get wrapped up in an indictment in Yo Gotti. So that's the first person I thought of because the beef between these two guys is damn near similar to the
Yeah.
beef of Gotti and Dolph. You any thoughts on that similarity? And do y'all see that probably eventually being Gotti's faith coming soon? Probably. I
Yeesh.
wish not, because I am a fan
No,
of Gotti, but the streets are the streets, man.
no,
I thought that from the beginning.
I agree with that, but I think Gotti in the clear. I ain't even gonna lie. It's been some years since Dolph passed. 2 or 3, more than that.
It's been the same amount as Mo 3.
See, so
Mm.
I mean, I
It's
don't
been the
know. I
same
think because
amount.
I'm just going based off how Gotti moved. I think Gotti move a little bit different. He don't really, no disrespect to Gotti, he don't really be outside like that. You seen Dolph on the mound. Like you seen Dolph in Memphis around folks from Memphis. Like Dolph was in the hood. I don't think Gotti be in the hood like that. I think Gotti be with Reverend Run and the whole Run family chilling, worried about his money. You know what I'm saying? Stacking his money up. That's just my opinion.
Keyword,
I don't know.
keyword, money.
Yeah,
He could be out the
Mm-hmm.
hood, but the money travels everywhere.
yeah, yeah. Facts. Big facts.
Again, I'm not trying to, because I love Gotti. He's one of my favorite rappers from Memphis, and he's one of them dudes that helped the likes of Gucci, Ti, and Jeezy in that the evolution of trap, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So it's just that's the first guy I thought of when this
yeah,
situation happened, because like you said, it's been years, and really, like we hear rumblings, right? Like for the years we heard the rumblings of Big U and Nipsey. We heard the not we really didn't hear these rumblings like this of Eazy, so it did kind of hit from left field.
yeah.
Any final thoughts on that before we move on?
Nope.
Hmm.
Okay. Sauce Walka was shot in Memphis while Sayso P was killed at the scene. The deadly shooting happened outside of the Westin Hotel in Memphis. Allegedly, well, not allegedly, right? Because they were before the incident. There's videos of them on the Instagram. They posted up where they're at or whatnot. But what's crazy to me again goes back to that Mo 3 situation. It's broad daylight, and these guys came out to get the job done,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, Go ahead. What's your thoughts on that? Any thoughts on that?
So
Shit, I just go ahead.
go ahead, no, go ahead, Lito.
Shit, I just know that I was strolling and I had seen that shit. I didn't really know, like, I don't know like the history of what type of beef dude is in or no shit like that. So I would, I was just kind of like surprised by it, like, oh shit, they killed one of these artists. Then I had seen some shit that had said something about like, I'm sure that this is like a stretch or whatever, but like one of like the gunman like spare dude life or some shit like that. You seen that shit too? Somebody, I don't know where I seen that shit, but I read something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
I don't know, yeah.
The
But
video. You can see it in the
Yeah,
video
oh,
probably
okay.
too.
Okay. I didn't even see the video. You know what I'm saying? I had just seen the motherfucking headline. I didn't even know there was a video. That's wild.
that's what I heard. I heard once he seen it was sauce, he stopped.
Oh what? That's
That's
crazy.
what I heard.
Yeah, the video footage shows a vehicle arriving to the scene. He jumps out and he's going straight at Sayso Peace. Sayso Peace chopping it up with somebody. And Sauce Walker, you can see him coming from the other side of the shot of the camera shot, right? So dude already hit Say So P. The guy who Say So P was talking to boogied up out of here. And they turn around and hit Sauce Walker. And you can see him hit the floor, but you can see him also dragging himself out where they really could have stood over him and,
Yeah,
you know, but I guess Say So P was the targeted hit because obviously, like y'all said, like they spared him. So
Yeah,
um
that's crazy.
this is a situation that's happened um often, right? We could go back to Pop Smoke where I'm sure he wasn't out there trying to start or enforce I'm the shit in your city, but that simple Instagram post showed your location. People came to see about it, and
Hmm.
I just think these rappers need to just. It's not even about bravery or courage, man. Just live to enjoy
Smart.
life. Live to enjoy life, man. Forget that Instagram post. Do it. Make sure you don't put up your location because motherfuckers will try you, man.
yeah.
Uh,
I
Hmm.
Glorilla was forced to halt her St. Louis concert after multiple brawls erupted in the audience, causing chaos. Young ladies
Oh
on the
shit.
low. I like Glorilla too. She got Memphis going
She was just
crazy
here,
right
bro. She was just here yesterday or the day before.
now. Yeah,
yeah.
she
Sold out.
And she doing her
And
shit.
she
That
coming back with
Glorilla.
T-Pain.
Oh yeah, is that was
Yeah, to
canceled?
that was yeah, yeah.
So
I think she just got added. I don't think she was on it before, but I think they scratched somebody off the list and they added her to it.
that's crazy. I love her,
Yeah.
Glorilla. Glorilla. She doing shit. I think she's one of the ladies that I would say like I could see her ushering this next wave. You know what I'm saying? I give her that. T.I. and Tiny victorious after judge dismisses explosive defamation lawsuit. Sabrina Peterson has accused T.I. and Tiny of harassment, defamation, and federal lawsuit filed in 2021. Congratulations, Tiny and T.I.
Yeah,
But I
for
did.
sure.
I ain't even gonna lie. I did hear through the grapevine. Them motherfuckers do be having some freak offs. Shit, I heard it. One of them was Hoops. Y'all remember Hoops from that one
Yeah,
show?
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hoops.
She used to
Always
fuck
had a
with
thing
Shaq,
for
didn't
him.
she?
yeah. She was rocking with
That's
Shaq for
crazy.
a minute.
Shit. So she must have came around Big U then too. Nah, I just play.
Yeah, tough.
Diddy scores a legal victory in an SA lawsuit against him. A judge has thrown out claims of RICO and more in a lawsuit filed by producer Ronnie Little Rod Jones last year. The ruling dismissed
Mm.
several accusations made in Jones' civil lawsuits. Hey man, he's been racking up a little few key victories, and I will say this much: that's thanks to Jay-Z. The dude fucked up by implicating the boy Hov in anything where Jay-Z was gonna stand there and fight. And now some of these allegations are looking kind of fishy, you know. Any thoughts
Mm-hmm.
on that? Because, like, again, I'm not here to defend Diddy, but they say it's a RICO. He still happened to be the only guy locked up. Um, and so far, outside of the video, which shows him beating on Cassie, right, assaulting Cassie, he's really just freak offs, if I'm not mistaken. And it's not really a crime, fellas. Like, I'm not trying to
Mm-hmm.
steer, but a RICO for freak offs,
Man,
you
I
know.
think
But
Diddy. I think Diddy might be coming home soon, man. The way it's looking.
man, I don't know, man. I mean, things like I seen the affidavits, I seen the some of the lawsuits that's been unsealed, and it's like some of these things ain't substantial. Like, you know, and I don't know, but by the time this is all wrapped up, I think by whatever they will have him on, probably be time serving. Diddy probably be walking out. I don't see no robberies on here. I don't see no extortion on here. I don't see no murders.
Mm-hmm.
He's not implicated no murders yet. So
I'll ask this: What happened? What happened when he blew up Kid Cudi car? Because I know that happened for a fact. I know that happened for a fact. But is that on there? Because if
that,
it's not on there, it'd be
it's
like,
that was on
it's
that was
in
on the
the
thing, I think. Yeah.
it's in the indictment, but it's there's no Cuddy never officially pressed charges. So basically, that's through hearsay, CJ shit. So basically, Cassie's probably the one who disclosed that
Mm-hmm.
information.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So this is my
Again, I'm not.
So do
uh,
you think that do you think that there's any type of footage or like anything that would like, you know what I'm saying, like implement Diddy, you know what I'm saying,
implement
like because because I'll just say like this, look, I'm this is I got like a story from this, and I'm not gonna name no names of nobody, right? But I knew this person, right? That they owned an establishment and they was doing some shady shit out the establishment, right? And you know, you not fucking shit, you getting away with you done got away with that shit so much you think that shit is smooth, like you're not even batting an eye to anybody's watching that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then bam, in the fucking bat of an eye. fucking boys run into the establishment, take cameras, footage, all type of shit, right? Nobody knew that them motherfuckers was gonna come up in there or do none of that shit. So you don't really got no time to like prepare. You know what I'm saying? It's like a raid and shit, you know? So I don't know. Unless they was like super smart about like that type of shit, if they was having that little freak off things, the only thing that's gonna like fuck them over is if there's people that's accusing them in these lawsuits and then they end up being in these videos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like if yeah, like that would be like, but other than that, you know, I think that because it's like you said, they ended up shooting at Rico, but he's like the only one that they ended up grabbing what's his face too, but they ended up letting him go, like his son and that other dude, right? This all was with him.
That was in the
I
raid.
forget his name. That was in the raid, right? And then
That was in the raid.
okay, right. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, bro. I think that he might. I don't know. I guess we'll just wait and see. Like, I guess it all comes down to evidence. You know what I'm saying? If they got something on dude, like actual something that's gonna stick. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, I think that he might be in the clear because dude got so much money he could, pay the lawyers to, when you got a lot of money like that, you could pay lawyers to make shit like this not look as bad as, like how Jay-Z did. He got the money to be able to get to like how that whole shit is going. Jay-Z ended up taking it. Because I got the money to be able to fight this shit. This motherfucker lying. Nobody ain't never like try to nip this shit in the ass because, that's embarrassing to be fucking called out on some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And you really be like, you almost probably, even if like if you don't do something like that and you get accused for something like that, I'm sure that it would be like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? You don't know how to wrap your mind around that shit at the moment. But dude was quick on it. He was like, shit, we finna go legal with it. And I'm finna show these motherfuckers that, there's a lot of people that's just like me that get taken advantage of just because they got money and think that, oh, we could make up these allegations and woo woo and just to, hey man, stop that shit. I don't want this shit to be publicized like that. Give them a little bit of money and make that shit go away, right? But he was like, fuck that. I'm finna put this shit to the forefront and shine a light on that type of shit and go from there. And like you said, that might help Diddy's situation in the long run.
It surely did because most of the civil lawsuits that were charged against Diddy, most of them by Tony Busby, now he can't even practice law in New York. So Diddy, inadvertently, Jay-Z helped Diddy in a lot of ways, right? So let's see. I mean, things gonna get interesting. We're wrapping up. What is it? Today's the 27th, so it starts May 6th. So we're nearing. So a lot more stuff is gonna be unsealed for us to, to opinionate on. You know what I'm saying? So. So let's continue. Let me check out some comments before we move on. It's time for the show.
Shout out Reno for the stars.
My broskies, love, bro. Joey D.
Shout out Joey D.
Sure that's the guy y'all get up with for the videos, the photos. He got y'all covered, man. OMJ.
Shout out OP Goods, Eddie OP Goods. I see you watching in there. I see you, Unc.
Now we got the FCC has received 125 complaints about Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show, gripes about inappropriate language, dance move, grievance about a personal vendetta getting thrown in the mix. 125 complaints. All right, so we're talking about, wasn't it like 135 million people seen this broadcast, or this, right? If I'm 135 million, so we're talking about one in every million complaint.
One person in every million and shit. That's fucking crazy.
Make
Get
this.
the fuck,
He said,
hey, hey, get the fuck out of here. Fuck out of here.
go ahead,
Beat
hey
it.
Daniel. So, what's your thoughts about this? I personally believe
bro.
this was the whole OVO camp, each one of them.
I
So,
was just gonna say. I
He
was just
said
gonna
that.
say. Bro, you gotta think about it. Even like after the show, you start seeing celebrities down talk to him. I seen Kai Cenat say what he said about him. Like, pause the
yeah,
video. He was like, "Oh, they using fake laughter and crowd laughter." Bro, no, they not, bro. What is you talking about? Like, you can hear that in the video. Like, I'm not going, bro. So like,
yeah,
they definitely started trying to push. Like, Drake was doing everything he could to get something.
yeah,
Like he wouldn't
man.
get nothing.
That shit
175.
crazy.
That's probably everybody from Toronto. Like not going-
Yeah, man. The FCC really don't. Yeah, the last time I heard about the FCC was on the Eminem album. You know where you got the
Bro, but
censors and shit.
think about it too though.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dr. Dre just did his. Like Snoop had folks crip walking across America. So you gonna tell me that Kendrick was more offensive than that?
And the
Like
Olympics.
Yeah.
yeah. Like come on now. That don't even make sense.
Hey, man, we will bring you back on here because I do want to discuss matching up who had the best year as far as, like this right here has been an incredible fucking year for Kendrick, like
Yeah.
overall, like on every aspect, right? And this reminds me of 93 Snoop. This reminds me of
Yeah.
2003 50. This reminds me of certain, and what's crazy is those guys were out the gate like that. They were groomed for this shit by Dre and the predecessors. Where Kendrick, even though he was groomed in the same way, he really was critically acclaimed, like Nas. And
Yeah.
then he's having a Jay-Z moment right now. You know what I mean? Like after Takeover, before Ether hit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's having this
Mm-hmm.
incredible. So I want to bring you back on here to discuss that. Like, you can compare years and whatnot, but just seeing this reminds me of when NWA got that letter like F the police, et cetera, et cetera. Like the FCC doing your shit. That means you popping. Redman appeared on the Julian Dory podcast and delivered an emphatic hell no when asked does he and Method Man still hang out. But it's not just meth. He says he don't kick it with rappers. I'm glad he said that because I was gonna be kind of heartbroken. Anybody in here a Red and Meth collaboration fan? Y'all like Blackout?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You like
Absolutely.
How High? For
I
sure.
was just
Yeah,
gonna say, not even just the music, but the movie too.
yo,
Like,
How High? Yeah.
Yeah.
but even they
They got
had,
great chemistry together.
yeah, I was gonna say they had Red on, I think one episode or two episodes of Power when Meth was playing the lawyer. Like, they dropped him,
Yeah, he
but I
was on
mean,
season.
yeah, like like this is the
Mm-hmm.
chemistry, like you said. I always thought they was
Mm-hmm.
cousins for
Yeah, they damn near
Yeah.
rock like they fam. No bullshit.
Yeah, their chemistry is insane. He's like they call him the honorary Wu member.
real. Yup.
Mm-hmm.
Jermaine Dupri, long-awaited docuseries on Magic City has found a home at Stars. The five-part series is set to premiere this summer and offer an in-depth look at the iconic club's influence on hip-hop culture and entrepreneurship. Any of y'all had the privilege to be up in there at all?
Mm-hmm.
It's an
Yeah,
honor.
I was
I ain't been, but I know it's an honor.
2018, 2016, 2018. Yeah, man. They told me to go up in there on a Monday, that Mondays be lit.
Yep, that's what I heard.
Yeah,
That's
so
what I heard. I heard it was the Mondays that was cracking.
we almost wrapping up with the news. Sexy Red and Milwaukee's very own Chicken P appeared on Playboy Max stream. And while on stream, he shits on the Discord's beat selection. Shout out Chicken P.
Man, express
Hey,
yourself, hey man, shit.
I don't
Now you
really
got a real
follow.
one.
Yup.
I really don't follow Black Boy Max like that, but I see
Me neither.
streaming. You know, the streamers are like how they say the front runner of this shit, where podcast is like taking a back seat now. And Kai Cenat had Steve the Stoner on his joint
Yup.
doing his
Mm-hmm.
dance, uptown dance, and
Uptown, downtown.
yeah. So shout out to them streamers for putting Milwaukee on.
Yup.
For
Any
sure.
thoughts? Any thoughts on that before we move on? That was hilarious. He's like, no disrespect, but
Yeah, that shit had me down. I watched that shit over and over again. I just wanted to see everybody's like facial expression. I know in one of them, like Sexy Red is just kind of looking like dumbfounded, like she don't know what the fuck to say or what to think. Then she was offended because she couldn't smoke in there.
that shit was hilarious. All right, let's continue. Congrats to 50 Cent, who secured a 30-year lease agreement in Shreveport, Louisiana for his G-Unit Studio Films and Television Company. Good luck for 50. Like that guy right there. I have like the ultimate respect for bro because everything he's accomplished and everything he's doing, he stayed true to who he has been since the moment he introduced himself to us, right? Like this has been 50 cents from Wankster all the way to 50 cents executive producing Den of Thieves too. So as far as that goes, like man, I don't know who, like literally who has done it their way, being themselves this long. I don't know. You know, me as a fan, I would say I haven't played a video game in a long time, but if they bring back Bulletproof,
Yeah, there's a
might be
couple
on.
of them that I really like that I remember that they don't have no more, bro. Bulletproof was one of them. The Scarface game was another one. That motherfucker was cold to me. And Warriors, the
Yup.
Warriors game, that motherfucker was cold too.
Random shit,
Man,
man. Make video games
classics.
fun again.
They said they was
Will
gonna bring
Smith,
the Def Jam Vendetta. When they supposed to try to
yeah,
Another
release it?
one.
that
I heard that
Y'all
French.
they
know
are
what?
remake. That I heard that they were remaking that.
It's
Huh?
gonna be
Man,
you just gonna shoot. Everybody just gonna shoot.
They're not gonna fight. Bye, bye, bye.
you
Like,
know who
oh
could pull it
shit.
off? Universal Records, because they got like contracts with all them rappers. So if
Yeah,
Universal could
that
pull
is
off a
true.
video game, but Def Jam, who they got, it'll be over with. They
They
ain't
ain't got
got
nobody.
nobody over there.
They ain't
They
got
got this
nobody.
guy, Jello Ball.
Oh,
Chill the fuck.
oh.
I'll be
Oh
swearing in the
shit.
whoa, whoa,
Yes, man.
whoa.
Let's continue, man. Will Smith got his own street named after him in West Philadelphia called Will Smith Way next to his old high school.
That's
Congratulations to
dope.
Fresh Prince. Did y'all see a clip of him on this podcast where he talked about he called Jay-Z and Kendrick Lamar for advice about music? Have y'all heard
Mm-mm,
that? So I guess he got
mm-mm.
on the phone with Jay-Z, and Jay-Z told him, be yourself. You know, you're gonna look at the young bulls, and that's not who you are, even though you want to be that, just tell them your story. And then he got on the phone with Kendrick Lamar, and Kendrick Lamar guess said, man, everything you were scared to say that shit. So we see that
Good advice.
congrats, yeah, for sure. Congratulations though, in orders to Will Smith. I know he's come under fire, man, but he ain't killed nobody, man. He ain't killed fucking nobody, man. Corday, y'all be keeping a tiny desk at all?
Yep, yep, yep.
Hmm.
Y'all peep Cordays? Did y'all peep Cordays at all
I ain't
recently?
finished it
Not
yet.
yet. Not yet.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to highlight a moment he had on there with his mom, who
Mm-hmm.
was um I think if I'm not mistaken, on one of the making of the band
Yeah, making the
seasons and
band shit.
whatnot.
Yep. Yep.
I just thought that was a cool moment that he shared that moment with his mom, and I just wanted to highlight that. So anybody who's a Corday fan, check out the Tiny Desk, his Tiny Desk concert. We're almost
For
done,
sure.
y'all. 3 more beats, and then we get into topics. Is Nas and DJ Premier working on a project? Nas wished DJ Premier happy birthday a few days ago, and during this post, it shows his calendar, and in his calendar, it shows a whole bunch of studio sessions booked with DJ Premier. So that begs the question: is this so-called rumored project finally gonna materialize? And if so, what's your thoughts on that? Because honestly, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But yeah,
I'm with
man,
you.
Nas been on a hell of a run, man. That greatest,
Yep.
the greatest of all time conversation. He has solidified his position as far as where you gotta come, who you gotta come see for that claim, because that man's rapping brilliant these days, just like he was back in his prime, man.
Mm-hmm.
Today, Tupac. Oh, wait, that'd be next. One of my favorite groups of all time, Bone Thugs and Harmony, has announced April 25th they'll drop the new single. Oh shit,
Nice.
guys, that's I'm one of the big Bone Thugs and Harmony fans. I'm not, I'm not looking for East 99, and I'm not looking for Creeping on the Come Up. But what I am looking for is these thugs in harmony, in sync with each other. What's your thoughts on this? Already now we know the single's coming, so we know the album's next. Any thoughts on that?
Man.
Mhm.
Listen, last album they dropped together, that after a couple years was fire. So I think every time they come together, it's gonna be good.
Yeah,
So, okay.
I agree. They've had chemistry for so fucking long. You know what I'm saying? They've been through the ups, the downs. Just to see them all together, being able to shit, give us a single. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Shit. I'm excited to hear because I know what the Bone Thugs sounded like. You know how Nova was saying, I'm not expecting to hear, you know what I'm saying, the old shit, but I want to hear how they sound with what they doing, the innovative sound, if they got any type of like what the beat selection sounded like. I know they was fucking with a lot of people from Texas. Yeah, Bun B. We had seen like a bunch of pictures with a bunch of motherfuckers from
Yep.
Texas. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm excited to see what the collaborations and everything. I think it's gonna be dope.
And then today marks the 24 year anniversary of Tupac's Until the End of Time double disc. By far my favorite Tupac project after his demise.
Mm-hmm.
Then albums, March 31st, Richie P. Goldstein, Milwaukee's very own Richie P. Goldstein drops the day after part one. So make sure y'all
Yeah,
lock in with bro. Look them on all streaming services, YouTube, wherever you can find music at, man.
yeah. Shout out
Orlito,
Rich
any
P.
thoughts? Yeah, man. I know you heard some of the stuff going on, man. So any anything we should be looking forward to coming from that project? Like we should expect? Should we look for? Should we are we expecting Rich P to be Rich P, or is he Rich P out like something we don't expect from something we're not expecting?
How about y'all go check out Panorama and check out the interview between me and Rich P. And you know what I'm saying? There's a single on there. You know what I'm saying? There's artwork on there. And there's a really good dialogue between me and the homies. So go check that shit out and y'all might find the answer to that.
Say that again. Say that one more time. What is it called? And where they can find it at?
Panorama. You can find it on YouTube. You can find it on the Great Minds Think Alike page on Facebook. Yeah, just check it out, man. And soon we'll be having other people. We're gonna do some other shit. I'm excited to have other it's not just gonna be music artists, it's all kind of artists, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that has some type of talent that's grinding, you know what I'm saying? So
Right. Shout out Eazy. What's going on,
shout
family?
out
Appreciate you.
Isai.
All right. So we're gonna wrap up these singles right quick. DDG and Wiz drop Hate It or Love It. Wiz Khalifa and Rakai drop What Are You Waiting For? Pretty dope vibe. Legend Tech 9 drops RDV. 2 weeks ago, what was it that we highlighted the new artist? Was it last week or the week prior?
Last week.
Last week.
Last week. So Wolfface J drops Petty. Boldy James, who'll be dropping a project this Friday, dropped 3 singles leading up. Everything Designer, Street Cred, RSNS, Street Cred I heard, pretty dope. Shoreline Mafia drops Back in Business. Moneybag Yo drops Close the Door. Murder Mook and Lux, TV Off, a freestyle. And Chase, Carly with a K. The songs that I read off, any of y'all heard them? And if so, thoughts on any of them?
Man, you said so many. I'm trying to think what you said.
We got Wiz Khalifa, Rakai, What You Waiting For? Tech 9,
Which one was
RDV.
that one? What are you waiting for? I heard the RDV one. I thought that was pretty dope, but I had only heard I didn't hear did he drop the whole, because when I had heard it, I only heard like a snippet. It was
Yeah,
like a
he dropped the whole
preview
song.
of the song. Oh, he dropped the whole song? All right, I gotta go check that out. I only had heard the preview of it. I heard the loaded, what was it? Loaded Lux and
Murder Mook.
that TV off. Yep, I heard that. Yep, I heard that. That was pretty dope. I don't know if I heard. I'm pretty sure I heard the Wiz one because I see all the Wiz ones that drop, but I can't remember it like that. So it probably wasn't as memorable as some of the other ones.
No, I got stuck on that Armani White. Armani White had dropped the EP. It was like 2 songs. I got stuck on that. And then Sauce Walka
Okay.
dropped a single, and I got stuck on that. So I got stuck on those 2 or those 3. So
What
I'm
name the
For
actually
sure.
single? Sauce
back.
Walka. What's the Sauce Walka single?
Hold on, let me see. Let me look it up real quick. That's why I keep
Shout
tweaking.
out Isai Claudio for the stars, bro. Appreciate it. He sent us 100. He sent 300 stars, bro. Appreciate you, bro. It's love.
Appreciate you for sure. Well, bro, figure that out for those who's tuning in. We appreciate you. Go ahead.
It's the Beat It freestyle. He just dropped that March 18th. He dropped the Beat It freestyle. And then like I said, Armani White, he just dropped because that's the one that sucked me in, I ain't gonna lie. Armani White just dropped Cut the Lights. And there's just 2 songs on that. So both of those 2 just dropped.
Nice.
Dope. We're gonna have to check that out. For
Man.
those who's tuning in, we appreciate you rocking with us as always. You know how we do. If you can, give us a like, comment, subscribe. Grandma's Think Alike every Thursday, 7 p.m. But we will be preempted next week. My bro will be on vacation, and we'll be coming back the following week. But tune in to
Shit, you never know. I might come live. We might go live in fucking vacation shit. What? No.
So, yeah, for sure. Give us a link to all our channels, subscribe to our channels, and like always, man, leave us a comment, let us know you in our house. Wipe your feet at the door. So let's continue, fellas. Man, let me get to comments right quick, then we get into the first topic, man. Okay. Appreciate you, Isai, for sure, man. We missed you, bro, man. We missed you around here, man.
Right, it's been ages, man. Feel like it's been
Yeah,
ages. We
man.
ain't seen you for 2 episodes, bro. Where the fuck you been, dog?
2 episodes. All right, man. So the marathon continues. You now tuned in. You now tuned into the Grandma Stinker Lock live stream, episode 26. The marathon continues. And the two topics we running got to do with two icons from the West Coast. And the first one up, we talking about Crenshaw, that Slauson boy. We talking about Nipsey motherfucking Hussle.
Let's go.
My God, man, what's the word, man? Talk to me, guys. Let's start with his initial introduction. When y'all first heard of Nip, what's y'all thoughts on Nip then? Like y'all first introduction to Nip. I'll start with you, and Daniels.
Uh, I got stories. I got stories. Because I was bumping Nip back when we was still on MySpace. Like when we was still using MySpace, when Nip was, I'm talking about the first deal, the Hustle in the House video, We Bang, We Ball, CEO, all that. So you talking like 2008, around 2008?
Mm.
So I mean, the first time I seen first time I got put on a Nip was the Hustle in the House video. That whole video attracted me to the whole sound. Everything from the hook to the every verse to the crisscross beat, like that video it captivated me straight up, being like 12 or something like that. So I've been a fan since then. I said I got
That's
stories.
crazy.
How about you,
Shit.
Eagle?
With me, I ain't going jack, bro. I ended up first ended up getting introduced to Nipsey on the Double XL, right? And then I ended up looking into him a little bit, but nothing like real serious. You know what I'm saying? And then I ended up hearing him on a Snoop Dogg feature on the Malice in Wonderland.
Yep,
I
yep.
I
remember that.
remember liking that album, yeah. And then I was like, man, who the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? So then I ended up seeing, oh, that was Nick. Oh shit. So now I remember, oh, that was from the Double XL. And then I kind of didn't really follow up on him still again. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually I ended up catching up with him where I started listening was um man, I don't know what the album is called, but it's like it got songs like The Mansion on it, Rose Clico.
The marathon.
Uh,
Is that the
is it The
marathon?
Marathon?
I think
Is
so.
it?
It
Okay,
might be.
yeah, yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a red covered seat album,
Yeah, I think
but
it's
I
the
didn't know if it
marathon.
was a marathon. It might be
Or
the
it's
marathon because the other red one is Crenshaw, ain't it?
no, the one you talking about is the marathon continues. So it's the
Oh,
marathon.
okay,
It's the marathon continues.
You,
for sure.
you talking
Yep,
about
and
the
then
marathon
after
continues.
okay, yeah. And then after that, then I was like kind of like, damn, this motherfucker nice. You know what I'm saying? And ever since then I kind of just started kind of trying to keep an eye out for him. Uh, how about yourself?
Yeah, the first time I heard him was around some not Meek Mills, my bad. Rick Ross was a Rick Ross collaboration. He had Nipsey on there. That's Wale, a whole bunch of people. That's around the time he started putting together his MMG and started he tried
The
to sign
2012.
with, yeah, he ended up getting Wale, me, Stally, you know what I'm saying, whatnot. But that's the first time I heard of Nip. Then I see him on that Double XL. And then I heard him with Drake, that Killer song. And
Mhm.
yeah, there was it was around there was nothing that like his voice and delivery probably stood out for me, right? But as far as music, it wasn't until the marathon
Mhm.
where I think he just caught my attention or whatnot. But go ahead, and Daniels, you say you got stories, so you talking about that bullets ain't got no name era. That's really
Yep.
the serious.
One through
That's really
three.
the serious. Yeah, it's really the series that led into this Dog Cell freshman. Um, there's few songs because we did an episode last year on that exact freshman cover. Um, Run us through it because you from the gate you could say were Nip, you were into Nip. Tell us about
Uh,
that era. What stood out to you? What made him like? Because this era to me is probably the last of the last great era.
agreed. Agreed.
You
Um,
so what
so then
Nip? Yeah,
one, it was like a modern day Snoop Dogg. He get that
Mm-hmm.
comparison all the time. Like this Joker look just like Snoop, bro. So then like but it was also something about, and again, I don't know how deep people get into the zodiac signs and all that. I know bro a Leo,
yeah,
I'm a Leo. I know I grab attention real easy. And it was almost similar to that. You don't even gotta try or nothing like that. You just grab somebody's attention. And that's perfect for
yeah.
being a musician or an artist. So it was something about the way just him, you know what I'm saying? The way he talk, walk, whatever, like it's grabbing people's attention. I think that video
Mm-hmm.
was. Then if you look in the end of that video, because that video was in MTV rotation playlist, so I'm playing that every morning before I go to school, because I'm putting on MTV every morning before I go to school. And
Mhm.
you see Snoop in the end of the video, so it's like that's the beastiest cosign you can get. Besides Snoop actually shouting
Mm-hmm.
you out, he actually cosigned you just by being in the video. So that already had me like, bet. I'm following Nip on MySpace, like, oh, I'm tapping in, bro. What's up? Ooh, got to tap in back. I'm grinding, getting this money. Oh, for real? You really on this mug? Like, I feel that because he ain't blown up yet. I should start seeing
Yeah,
him in a couple movies. He was in that Bone Thugs movie that I tried. He was in
yeah,
it was a couple of joints. Like they wanted him to be Snoop Dogg and Straight Outta Compton. He turned it down. So it was just for me personally. I've heard other people say it about other artists. This was finally an artist that I could learn from, not about music, but about how to be a man, especially single mother, teenage kid. Like you don't really have a lot of role models. So when other
Mm-hmm.
people had Jay Z, Master P, whoever else, E4, whoever taught you about a hustle or whatever, I had Nip. Like I could learn from this
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
person. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it was for me personally.
No doubt.
That's dope. Thank you for sharing that because yeah, around these times you mentioned him, Jay Z. This was towards the end of his run. This is that Wheezy phenomenon run. You know what I'm saying? And again, while this is going, as you could say, there was a without us, and the transition of the guard was taking place, and in this process, we had this what we call the blog era rap, where the likes of Nipsey, Wiz, Kendrick, Drake, the Big Sean, it goes on, Big Crit, the name goes on, Wale, Mel, all of them, like the last of the great era, I say, and obviously at this time Drake was popping and Wiz. So they stood out to me right out the gate where Nip he slowly caught my attention. So I just wanted to get your insights on that. How
I
about you,
mean, but
Orlito?
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, but another thing was when you look at those projects, like even like Bullets Ain't Got No Name, I think Volume 2, like he got the game on the song. So it's like I started peeping like the artists he had featured. Like he had big names featured. So I'm like, how you get that person? You know what I'm saying? The game wasn't on
That's
many
some
men. So
politics.
it's just like, oh, you really tapped in. Same with when Jay bought all them Crenshaw mixtapes. Like, how you do that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was just stuff like that.
Yeah, we're gonna tap into that because that was quite innovating. That me and bro been
Mm-hmm.
preaching direct to consumers, direct to consumers, and he was one of them guys that
Mm-hmm.
really tapped into that early on, and he did it in a major way. And you mentioned a project. We're gonna get to that in a second. Let me how about you, Orlito? Around this time, because like you said, it was the marathon continues. That's around the same time I got into him. Around these time, you echo the same sentiments. This was the so much was going on that he didn't gravitate to you then.
Um, yeah, maybe I could say that. Like around that time, just everybody else that was out on that freshman cover, because that was the one with Cole and everybody, right?
Wiz, Cole, Sean,
Yeah, quote. Yeah, Freddie Gibbs.
Gangsta Gibbs.
Yeah, so I think, and you know what's crazy? Actually, I just remembered this. I'm lying when I said that the first song I heard was what I said I heard. The first song I heard from Nick was the song that he did with French Montana. It was him, French Montana, Wiz Khalifa. Was that it? You know which one I'm talking about, in Daniels?
I can't think of the name of the song.
That was on that mac and cheese.
Yeah.
That CB. It was on Cold Boys.
Was it off of French Montana Project?
Yep, it was a French
Okay,
project.
okay. Yep, that was the first song I had heard with Wiz, where he said, what did he say? He said, four bitches open their legs, so I octopus. I thought that was a fucking dope ass fucking line. But yeah, like I remember like when that was when I had first heard him. And then I started looking into him. Then I ended up running into what I told you. And then I continued from there with the what was it you said, the marathon
The
continues?
marathon continues. Yep.
Yeah. And then even off of that, like even just like the beat selection off of that shit. Like I remember like there was this one song that I specifically liked just because the beat was so like it was a more of a fast tempo beat. I think it was called The Mansion. And the beat
Yep.
was just like so like high tempo and he was just going in on that shit, bro. Like but yeah, he was dope. When I started like actually like listening, like damn, this motherfucker pretty nice. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, I agree. Um, me actually the double XL freshman cover was like how you say the biggest cosign at that time because you know double XL was slaughtering the source at that time. So yeah, man. Right after that, that's when he dropped the marathon, and I ain't gonna lie, that's when he caught my attention. Like this was a well put together project, but it really wasn't. It was a mixtape, but it was put together like it was a project, and that's
right.
when he went on his this run. Like I would like to say the run of excellence, you know, because everything Nip was doing was outdoing everything he previously did. So let's go into some of this stuff. I'm gonna run down the project. The marathon 2010, marathon continues 2011. The marathon continues extra laps 2012, 2012 Raw with Blanco, then 2013
I
drops
liked
Crenshaw.
that.
Now let's stay on Crenshaw for a second. You talked about it earlier. It was released as a free digital download, but also made limited edition, 1,000 physical copies available for $100 each. Jay-Z bought
Hmm.
100 copies. This approach Nip and his team called the Proud to Pay was to monetize his music, connect with his
Yeah.
fans in a unique way. Um,
Fuck the middleman.
Hmm.
hey, can I tell you something? Remember when this shit was announced? People thought Nip was crazy. And when Nip succeeded, we seen people started doing more packaging on their album releases. Here's QR codes for behind the scenes stuff. So Crenshaw, I would say, like as far as what he did was it was innovating and genius at the same time, right? Because again, these artists bust their ass, pay countless amount of money on studio times, production, video costs, just for them to upload and get pennies for these streams. Starting with Orlito, what's your thoughts on his approach with Crenshaw? And then what's your thoughts on the actual plot project?
I thought it was genius approach. It's like, and Daniel said earlier, like the man was a straight hustler. You know what I'm saying? Um, he figured it out, and he figured it out easy. I mean, early. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that shit was fucking. That was a genius ass idea, marketing idea. You know what I'm saying? And as far as the project, this project was dope. I liked it. This project, I liked it. All of this project. Um, I forgot what song. My favorite song, I think, if this is the one with that the one that he got with his artist. What's his artist? The one that he's always
Jay Stone,
uh,
Jay Stone.
yeah, Jay Stone. Yep, Jay Stone. Yep. The dude's cold too, bro.
He's decent.
Yeah, he
He's
was
He
actually.
kind of get over. He kind of got overshadowed, but
yeah.
he's pretty nice. um, but yeah, him and Jay Stone got that one song. Where they got a video to it, and in the beginning of the video, Black Salmon was like, "Oh, this is a video, da 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 da," and they get to release it, da da da. Here go the video to this, and then he released it and shit. That
I
song,
seen that
that was my
video.
shit. That
I
was
seen that
my
video.
shit. Yeah, and yep, and that's when I started hearing that All Money In a lot more. Um, uh, when he started saying, "Proud to pay, fuck the middleman," whatever. And I was like, man, this motherfucker snapping. And then yeah, I was like, damn, dude, snapping, he going crazy. And then when I heard that whole shit about Jay-Z ended up buying 1,000 copies, I was like, that's fucking phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's like one of those things. Nobody it was like a must. Nobody's ever done that. I can't. Has anybody ever done that? Like at that magnitude, like I'm gonna sell these for $100 and one person come and be like, man, I support off the fuck out of your grind. I'm gonna cop 1,000 of them. You know what I'm saying? We see that sometimes happen with like certain artists when
Artist.
they um when they supporting like a youngin,
Yeah.
he's selling candy or selling water or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But as far as like supporting another artist, because a lot of the time, artists, there's not that. I'm not gonna say it's always like that, but a lot of the time it's kind of like it's a competition and people don't really give that, that leeway or that oh yeah, that shit was called off in the cop this many of them or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I thought that was fucking fire as well. If you could get Jay-Z to cop 1,000 copies, nigga, you did something right. You know what I'm saying?
Big facts. Big facts.
What about you, and Dennis? What's your thoughts about his approach on the album, and what's your thoughts overall on the project?
I mean, first of all, did y'all peep where he got the idea from? Because he said he got it from
Yeah,
reading a book.
Book.
Yep,
book
where
about
dude
the
to
$1 Philly
the
steak
cheese.
cheese
Yep.
steak. Yep.
So it's like, for me, it's real. One, I think it came almost natural, just based off how he had already been hustling. But then also, what based off back to what I was saying before, which was, what I'm saying, that's something I could learn off of. Like I wouldn't nothing else get me to read a book other than you tell me this man just sold a copy for a CD for $100. Like that's definitely gonna get me to crack the book open and be like, man, this where
Mm-hmm.
you got it from? Let me try that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
like you
Right.
said, no, it was innovative. Um, and ain't nobody did it before. And ain't nobody did it since. Like I haven't seen nobody follow up and do the same thing, but it has to have quality in order for you to sell it. And
Mm-hmm.
quality was there. Crenshaw was a great mixtape. You know what I'm saying? So it made sense. I definitely was riding around the city bumping that, and I had a couple of people stop and ask me, who I was listening to. So it did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, I thought it was brilliant. Um, to piggyback off what you said, Orlito, um, I seen the likes of you know, by like Lloyd Banks album and a Jim Jones album, Support New York Rap, and I didn't seen Drake by a whole bunch of J. Cole albums, while they were in the store together type shit. But as far
Mhm.
as seeing, you know, one of the GOATs, one of the greatest of all time, not only support what you're doing, but basically that's tipping his hat like, that's fucking genius.
Mhm.
Jay Z doesn't fall short from brilliant ideas because it's one of my least favorite albums. One of my least favorite Jay Z albums where he did a deal with a phone company where by the time this album released, I already won platinum. I might be Kingdom Come or something like that, right? But he that was genius of him, right? Because he already got a million sold out the gate, feel me? And so I bet when he seen Nipsey doing this, he like tipped his head like, I see you. I see you.
Mhm.
Like basically, I could see you in my position,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and basically that's where he was headed. But as far as the
Mhm.
project go, again, after that freshman cover, outside of that joint projects, Nipsey was on the roll with these mixtapes. Uh, all fire, well produced. His mic performance on these tracks, on these projects, like he found, to me, with the mixtape, the marathon and marathon continue was what Tupac was to me against the world. He found his range. He got in his pocket.
Mhm.
Uh, I found the marriage with these beats, and I knew how to conduct these words over them. So Crenshaw to me was just, how you say, a continuation of
Yeah,
his
yeah.
progression.
Mhm.
So so we're gonna go on. So the next one was same shit, except for this time, it's a more connection with the fans. Mailbox money selling a limited amount of copies for $1,000 each. Now this comes with tickets to see Nipsey Hussle at concerts, exclusive
Snap.
stuff behind the scenes, signed CDs or signed autographs, etc. Um, the project overall was dope. Um, Again, did he? I'm gonna ask you and Daniels first because I'm trying to find. All right, man. So hear me out. Hear me out. Jay Electronica, Jay Electron. Y'all familiar with the guy, right? He was destined. He like all eyes and ears were on him. Like he was destined to be this GOAT, right? And he finally released a project. I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago, but most of it was a Jay Z assisted project, right? Because out of, let's say, 12 songs, 10 of them had Jay Z, right? But in the process getting that project, we really didn't hear much of Jay Electronica, right? But Nipsey Hussle, we got the Slauson Boy, the Bullets Ain't Got No Name, the Marathon. So we got some stuff Nipsey leading into what's eventually going to be his debut album. But some of these projects are dope. We already mentioned some of them that are dope. Why do you think Nipsey didn't make albums just yet? Do you think do you
Mm.
think he had?
Yeah,
Do you think?
go ahead.
Go ahead. Do you think it
Yeah,
was more of a self perfection type of thing, or more so I ain't got the right deal in place yet?
both. It's a mix of both. Um, what was it? He had talked to 50 about that. 50 was the one that told him that he's in the perfect pocket because he didn't drop an album yet. So when you go and make your deal, if you make a deal or whatever you decide to do,
You got leverage.
you got leverage because they don't. There's no history of sales. You know what I'm saying? All you really have is your ticket sales, and you have so much money you've already done. but there's no history of sales based off your albums. And it was all a leverage idea that 50 had. Not to say he gave him, but he told him, "You're in the perfect pocket." You know what I'm saying? You ain't dropped the album, and you doing all this, don't drop the album. And another thing I know, once he did drop, he talked about that there was 30 days of press. That the company, the record company just pushes you so hard for those straight 30 days. So everything I think was strategic. I do think he was a perfectionist. He was like, no, it's not ready for an album. Um, and you think about it, I think once he dropped Victory Lap, I know it's after he died, but it was still Grammy nominated. So I think everything was strategic. I don't think it was. I don't think there was one move that wasn't strategic.
How about you, Orlito? You echo those sentiments?
Yeah, basically what and Daniels was saying is like if I go to somebody to try to break a deal or and I'm showing you what I could do by myself, then I'm gonna be able to break a better deal. You know what I'm saying? So um I think that was definitely he had that in mind. So he figured I'm gonna just keep doing this because right now the ball's in my court. The more fans and the more I could obtain, like the bigger check I'm gonna get when I end up signing this deal to drop this project. And I think that's exactly what he ended up kind of going in the direction of doing.
Yeah, because I look at some of these projects. Let me take that back. Some of these mixtapes, and I'm like, they legit could have been projects. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
the quality of them. They don't sound like. I don't get me wrong though. I think the the closest things he got that are like mixtape quality to me was before that Double L freshman cover was the
Yeah.
Bullets Ain't Got No Names. But after that
Mm.
cover, I feel like everything was great quality,
See,
album quality.
I wasn't a fan of Mailbox Money. I wasn't a fan of Mailbox Money. I ain't like Mailbox Money. I think Crenshaw was in a place of his own, and I think the
Mhm.
marathon continues and extra laps. I feel like that whole series was in a place of its own. And then when we get to where we're at now with Victory Lap, once he dropped Victory Lap, I understood why he waited from an
Yeah,
artistic
we
point.
almost there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think Victory Lap trumps the rest of them. You know.
Then 2016 he dropped Slauson Boy 2. I like the ocean views. There's some joints on there that fucks you
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
2016 Famous Lies and Unpopular Truths. No Pressure, Wilbino. And I guess we'll get back to that. He dropped in 2017, him and his brother Sam opened up the Marathon clothing store. Goes back to that entrepreneurship, the hustler. You know, you seen what he did for what he did with that in his community. What y'all thoughts on his run? Like, obviously, I'm not gonna lie. Again, these are mixtapes, right? So I agree with you when it comes to mailbox money, and I throw in that no pressure. But
That
outside of
shit.
that,
Yeah. He got a couple
outside of
songs
that,
with dude that go really hard.
outside of that, he's on like a stellar run. Like these
Yeah.
projects again. So now he opens up his business. Then at the end of this year, we talked about All Money Inc. Nipsey Hussle inks a deal with Atlantic Records at the end of 2017. Is this all part of that strategy you were talking about, Ed and Daniels?
Definitely, definitely. Because what followed up? Hold on, so he inked the deal with Atlantic Records. Gets that 30-day of press that they promised. That 30 day when you drop that album. What comes after that? Collaboration with Puma. Like, that's back to back. Then when we talk about dropping the store, it was a smart store. So when you scan your tag, you scan your QR code, you get a whole menu.
Hmm.
So it's like you drop all that within those 30 days, you're gonna be one of the biggest names out because you're doing stuff ain't nobody
Yeah.
did.
About you, Orlito. So 2017, big year for Nick. Opens up the Marathon clothing store and inks his All Money Inc. deal with Atlantic Records. We're talking about a guy
Yeah.
who's been in the rap game, I think like 10 years at by this time, I
Yeah,
believe,
yeah,
like 10, 11 years. Grinded his way
Yeah.
and finally inked that deal.
Yeah. And then at that moment, he was like, time to make an album.
yeah, yeah.
Now we gonna talk about it, man. Let me check out some comments right quick because I've been waiting for this victory lap for a minute.
Man,
We're about to talk about it. His downfall is him staying in his hood. And yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about the end of this subject because both the tops they do raise some sort of awareness. You know, Nipsey Hussle's death raises awareness, and so does Eaze. Um, so he inks his deal in 2018. Victory lap drop. So finally, the world, well, not the world, right? Because the world already know who Nipsey is, but he finally delivers his debut album. I'm gonna start
Mhm.
with you, Orlito. The debuts number 4 on the billboards and is 2 times platinum. What's your thoughts on the project?
Fire from the beginning to the end. I thought the project was great.
How about
I
you,
liked every
Daniels?
song on this. The way that it was put together, the order of the songs, the beat selection, the features, everything about the project was dope.
yeah. I gotta say it was
Facts.
fire. I gotta say it was fire. I don't see a flaw in the project, honestly.
What's
Mhm.
Orlito? What's some of your favorite songs on here? Because it is fire from top to
Uh,
bottom. I'm looking at this track list and I can't see
Yeah.
shit wrong with this album.
I can't see nothing wrong with it.
yeah, bro. Rap Ninjas. Last time that I checked. Um, Dedication. Blue Laces 2. Hustle and Motivate. Status Symbol 3. Grinding All My Life. Um,
Yeah.
Double Up.
I can't see nothing wrong with it. Yeah.
So okay,
Mhm.
I'm gonna put y'all on the spot because I haven't heard this project. I haven't heard this project in about like 3 months. I'm looking at the track list and I can remember hearing this. Are we looking at a five on a
Mm.
scoring system, 1 to 5? I see a 5 here.
Yeah, I would have to say I see a 5 as well.
How about you, Daniels?
I'm thinking, because I'm not gonna lie, it's
Look, I'm gonna run it down for you. Victory Lap, Rap Ninjas. Last time I
oh, I'm
checked,
looking at it.
Young
I'm
Ninjas,
looking at
None of
it.
just
like Blue Laces,
I'm looking
Hustle
at it.
Motivate,
You know what it
man,
is?
yeah.
You know,
City.
you know what you know what it is for me personally, and it don't got nothing to do with the project. It's the songs that were pushed. So like I like that last time I checked got pushed, grinding on my life got pushed. Um, I don't think Victory Lap got pushed as hard as it could have. I like the
I
hustle
thought
and
that was
motivate.
Mhm.
Yeah, the only one, I mean, I don't know. Keys to the City too, because I was listening to that one yesterday, and I'm like, man, I wish that one got a push. I, this is the thing. There's so many songs on this project that like I can't be biased about that, about it not getting pushed. That was my favorite one. I could give it a 5.
Mhm.
I'll give it a 5. I'll give it a
yeah.
5. Especially the dedication with Kendrick. I'll give it a 5.
Mhm.
I got to.
Yeah, man. That's crazy. I'm like, you got to get that. You know what I'm saying?
So we're all in agreement. Victory Lap, 5 points on our rating system.
Yeah.
I'm looking dead at project, and this is one of them projects that I wish they had like visuals to go to every song, make it like a movie. Cause I know he did that shit with Grinding All My Life and Hustle and Motivate.
That's motivate. Yep.
You know, so
I
yeah,
think
man.
with Double Up, is Double Up on there or is Double Up not on there?
Yeah, it was like a
Yeah, it's
bonus
on there.
track.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So then with Double Up, I think it was just a music video, but it had a beastie story. Had a beastie
Yeah,
story.
Mhm.
that's the one with London in the video, right?
Yep. She was in that one
Yeah,
and Hustle and Motivate.
yeah. That motherfucker was dope. Actually, the video, his videos was dope.
Yeah.
So we got a guy who finally drops his debut project. We all three in agreement. It's a fucking classic project, and I would dare to say it was worth the wait, man. He knew when to
Yeah.
deliver, man, because
Mhm.
it's fucking flawless.
Yeah.
So we're gonna continue going on, man. That's March 31st, 2019. The we get to. Nipsey Hussle is murdered outside the Marathon store. I remember it was a Sunday. Um, okay, so I'm gonna have to revisit history, right? But I would like to say that 2018, I dare to say he got album of the year
Yeah.
with this, and I also would dare to say that Nipsey Hussle died before he actually received his full just, which he was about to receive. And what I mean by that, like, there was without a doubt he was going to follow up this project, and everything was leading into that. What's your thoughts when y'all first heard the news? Starting with you, Daniels, when Nipsey Hussle was murdered on the live.
Oh, I cried. I cried. I swear to God, I cried. And I had dropped my first project that same day. I had to. I was frustrated. I didn't care about nothing else. I had one more song to do on my project, and I was like, man, forget this, and dropped it. So I mean, I was real emotional. Um, I had people calling my phone like I was in LA or something. Like I really had people calling my phone checking on me. Bro, is you okay? Ooh, I heard what happened. I'm like, I don't even want
Yeah.
to talk. Honestly, it's weird to me, you know. Um, and then I kind of remember. I remember Instagram was talking faster than everybody else. Like you don't hear about it from people before you hear about it from the police or the news or
Mhm.
whatever. The streets gonna talk first. So I remember Instagram really letting people know like, yo, he gone. He's not here no more. And people confirming it. Yeah, he's gone. He gone. But yeah, bro, that was how that whole day went for me. Like it was just weird.
Mhm.
About you, Orlito.
Yeah, I remember it being like a surreal moment. I was like, nah, this can't insane for real. And then yeah, it was real. That shit was like I was kind of heartbroken. Like, damn, that's fucked up. Because it's like you said, like he didn't even really get to enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Reap the benefits of like all the shit that he was, that was about to come to him. So,
Yeah.
and that's the part that kind of like I think for me more than anything, that's the part that bothered me. The most is like, dude got kids. That everybody is. He's the money guy, the money maker for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I thought it was
Breadwinner.
kind of a fucked up. Yeah, yeah. I thought it was kind of fucked up situation. So,
And he had just
yeah.
had his kid on his kid was on like
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, man. Nipsey Hussle tragically gunned down in the community that he was uplifting. You know, he easily could have built business elsewhere, but he wanted to set an example, and it was just tragic, man. To see, sad to hear. I remember, I forgot. There's so many platforms I follow, but he showed that video footage, and it was just like, damn. Um,
Bro, what's
a
wild?
lot of,
Was wild. I can't watch that video because like
Mhm.
it hurt my bullet wound. Like
yeah,
it's weird. It's like trauma for real. Like, cause I got shot 2022. So every time I seen that video after that, like I could feel it in my hand. Like it's a weird reaction. So I can't even watch that
mm,
video.
yeah, that shit, it broke my heart to see that video, and then how they later revealed it was a member of the Rolling 60s as well. So,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
um, I know I said I'm mistaken the year, right? I'm mistaken the year and a few episodes back, but I would like to correct myself. But I still stand on that everybody has, certain artists have their moments, certain artists, etc., have how they say they prime, right? And
Mhm.
it just my heart, I just believe Nip died being the best rapper at that moment. You know, he
Mhm.
dropped that critically acclaimed um, victory lap, and the title alone, right? Here's the guy who grinded all these years,
Yep.
dropped marathon. He waited all this time, finally dropped his project, and basically that was a celebration. I did this.
Yeah.
I made it, and
Mhm.
you know, it was just sad overall. These guys don't get to enjoy their moment. Like the Biggie didn't get to enjoy the moment when he was the best rapper. You
Pun.
know, you
Yep.
Pun. You know, a lot of great artists. But before you get up out of here, I want to continue. Say two more things. Sam reveals a Nipsey Hussle documentary soundtrack and a Beano collaboration albums are in the work. Unreleased music will be used and supported in a 9-episode documentary that will be released at the end of 2025. What's your thoughts on that, Daniels? Because I know I got a personal feeling about music, possible music. So, what's your thoughts on that?
Man, I'm excited. I'm excited. I know we've been going back and forth about the extra laps. We've been going back and forth
Mhm.
about extra laps 2 and 3. And some of the songs, I mean, we rated it honestly. I know me and Orlito talked about it. We rated them honestly. I was like, bro, it's 3.5, 3. The
Yeah,
ones that I liked a
Mhm.
lot, I could be like, yeah, that's a 5. But overall, so really my thing is I just want to see how it's put together. I'm hoping Black Sam does this thing and puts it together properly, puts it together right. Um, because now we're getting to the point now where you start talking about I don't know how to say the word post mortem or post whatever albums, it throws him in that category of being a goat. I'll say that. I won't say top 10, top 5 or anything. I don't think we can do that. But when you start dropping albums behind the grave, you get goat mentioning.
yeah.
Mhm.
How about you, Orlito? Your thoughts?
Um, yeah, man, I think that I know that me and you had spoke about this before. We was trying to wonder what Black Sam was doing with dropping them the extra laps and shit.
Yeah,
And Daniels ended up telling us that I think on the extra laps too, that was like a couple songs that was like already had been
Yeah.
released before. And then he dropped the extra lap street. Did he do the Marathon Burger opening and then he dropped the extra lap street? I think it was something
No,
like that, right?
he did the Marathon Burger
Or
right after.
opposite?
Yep, 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 yep.
Okay. Yep. So I thought it like, it's a good little he's kind of think he's trying to get that traction going. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get the momentum. You know what I'm saying? And I think that he's doing a good job at it. Besides the little, I wish that whole little thing that happened didn't would have not happened there because it kind of stole away, the little confrontation back and forth. Well, who's that? Loose Cannon or no? That one
Yeah.
Loose Cannon. That was
No.
that was Loose
Uh,
Cannon.
Rockstar.
Nah,
Rockstar.
Rockstar. Yeah,
Rockstar.
because it just kind of took away what the moment was. What that was a significant moment for the marathon bird. Blah blah blah. Should have let that shit for another time. Blackstar should just not engage in it. Told her, look, I'm gonna talk to you later. I want to talk about that shit right now. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of like kept it moving. But that was the only thing that I felt. But as long as he just keep on kind of keeping it moving in that direction and keep on uh that continue with the momentum, I think that the shit is gonna be hot, bro. And I'm excited to see how he puts it together too. I hope he puts it together in the right way.
I think what he said is since it's gonna like the beginning to the end of Nip's career. So I guess he's gonna present this music as in its form, like some of this music, Young Nip, pre-marathon, post pre-marathon, during dome episodes, and then when he's in his bag, So I guess I don't know. I look forward, and I believe Black Sam will do it. And I'm agreeing with you in the sense of I wish that situation didn't happen at the Marathon Bird Rockstar because it truly reminded me of the situation with Nipsey and Eric Holder. Like damn near brought me back to that situation. Like this is how it went down. Like motherfuckers had a disagreement. Dude came back and did some cowardly shit. So,
Hmm.
but before you get up out of here, Nick, overall, what do you think is Nipsey's hustle legacy? Because you did say GOAT, and I do believe. Oh wait, time out. Before I ask you this question, I want to highlight the boy Kendrick Lamar because you said you almost shedded a tear that you shedded tears when Nipsey Hussle passed. I shedded tears at the Pop Out concert when Kendrick Lamar talked about Nipsey Hussle, Kobe Bryant, and he talked
Yeah.
about everything LA lost. So I guess I like the Kendrick. Don't get me fucked up. I like Kendrick, but I guess I'm more emotionally attached to him based off. I feel like walking around with Nipsey's ghost. Like he's carrying on that
Yeah.
legacy.
Yeah.
So before I let you out of here, what is Nipsey Hussle's legacy?
And what you mean by that? What's the
Like for
legacy?
instance, if you was to ask to me, I will go to one of his most prolific songs, "Hustle and Motivate." To me, when I think of Nipsey Hussle, I think of hustle. I think of motivation. I think of a young man who was wise beyond his years, who
Definitely.
knew the game and knew how to, like he overcame his
Definitely.
circumstances. That's the legacy. You know, I put him in the same breath as Tupac as far as what he was able to do outside of music. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Hmm.
that's what I mean. What is the legacy to you? What is
So
Nipsey Hussle's legacy?
you hit it right on the head with the song that I was about to say.
Hmm.
As soon as you said it, I'm like, I think that's the legacy. Like, I think hustle and motivate. I think hustle and motivate is the legacy, but only because when we talk about motivation, then Pac say he wasn't gonna be the change. He was gonna spark the person that was gonna make the change.
Hmm.
So like we
Hmm.
transition to somebody saying I'm a hustle and motivate, like okay, it's another spark. I'm gonna spark somebody else to make another change. That's how I look at it. Um,
Yeah.
Hmm.
everything we listen to from Nip is get your money. Like forget the middleman and get your money. And Nip done said it before. Like I can't talk to you about having your heart broken and cry to you about this, but go get you some money, you don't feel better. Like that's one of his
Hmm.
quotes. Get a bag, you're gonna feel better. Because when I get some money, I feel better. I feel different. Okay, I could live by that. You know what I'm saying? So I think hustle and motivate. When you talk about a legacy, that's a legacy. Even his son was his. I know Lauren London got his son in the Lego commercial. Like it's a no
That's
a
dope.
new Lego commercial. They got his son in. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
dope.
yeah, we finna go get this money. No matter what the problem is or whatever. We can't fix it by crying or by being sad. Being sad ain't gonna help, ain't gonna push us forward. Yeah, some money gonna
Thanks.
push us forward.
How about you, Orlito? What is Nipsey Hussle's legacy?
Shit, to me, it's kind of uh like a nonstop grinder. You know what I'm saying? Nonstop. Uh, even though there, in life there's obstacles and shit, that that comes your way, but you just got to keep running. You got to keep running with, going with the motions and shit, and continue the marathon. You know what I'm saying? Because the marathon continues. You know what I'm saying? He was basically telling us that shit. He was telling us, that shit. For me at least. That's how I felt. Like the message was like, shit. This is life. Life is gonna keep. It's gonna throw you curveballs. It's gonna throw you this. It's gonna throw you that. But at the end of the day, it's like, are you strong enough to withstand that and keep going and get through that shit? And you know what I'm saying, and overcome that shit. And that's kind of uh what what the like motivation or whatever Nip was to me. You know what I'm saying? He kind of like signified that to me, like don't give up. You know what I'm saying? No surrender, don't give up, don't quit, just keep going. You know what I'm saying? And you'll see the what's the expression? You'll see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I'm saying?
Little.
So
Thanks.
yeah.
Yeah, man. Like I said at the beginning, inspiration. He was different. Like when I was younger, not too much younger, but like in my late 20s, I listened to all sorts of different music, but what I was doing at that time, my go-to guy was Jeezy. Jeezy found I would find something in Jeezy's music that I could somehow incorporate in whatever my life was doing at that time, right? But we all know what Jeezy was doing, right? But anyhow,
Mhm.
um, Nipsey was a different kind of inspiration, different kind of motivation. He wasn't talking about go get yourself locked up. He was telling you how to go get it, how to smarten up. So he was a different type of motivation to me. So that young man, because he was, what was he, like 36, 30, not even, like 34 when
Not
he,
even 32, 33.
yeah.
He was still,
So
yeah,
the way he, his aura, the way he carried himself was very Sean Carter like. Like this
yeah,
guy know
definitely.
how to move and whatnot. But yeah, to me, his legacy is without a shadow of a doubt one of the he produced one of the top. I'm gonna have to visit some of the projects, but I think in my estimation, top 25 West Coast albums. Like I believe,
Yeah,
that project for sure is in that conversation.
yeah.
And he's taken away from us too soon, and I'm sure he was gonna deliver more classics, man. And I appreciate you joining us for this conversation because, like I said, I was a later on Nip fan, so I wanted to get insight on someone who fucked with Nip from the beginning.
Mhm.
And Orlito, before we let that Nick out of here, you want to say anything or to cap off the Nipsey topic?
Mm.
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, bro, how about you? You want to close anything with Nip before we let you up out of here, brother?
And listen, if y'all ever, I ain't gonna say too much. If y'all ever bring up that big U topic, Y'all give me a heads up. Let me back on here so I can spit my conspiracy theory.
For sure.
Man,
Okay,
but
okay,
no,
wait a minute,
man.
wait a minute. You got 5 more minutes? You got five
Yeah,
more minutes?
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
fuck it. We ain't got to go nowhere. We own the network. We own the
Y'all might,
network.
I
No,
was gonna say, y'all might just see me emotional a little
hey,
bit, but yeah, I
no.
got you.
So okay, Eric Holder was arrested and charged for the murder of Nipsey Hussle, and we already said Nipsey was taken out in his neighborhood by a Rolling 60. The Rolling 60s. Well, let me take that back. Big Enterprise and some members of the Rolling 60s was indicted last week.
Hmm.
This week, 43 counts have been unsealed. Conspiracy theory. It has been alleged Big U could have been behind that. What's your thoughts on that, then, Nick?
Listen, I mean, they've been saying this for a long time. This man ain't never, not I won't even say shed a tear or nothing like that, but this man has not said anything really sentimental about my guy passing away. Like it's bro birthday, you out partying with Fat Joe. You got everybody else, rest in peace, Nip and woo. You ain't said one word about this situation. Um, and then just the way things line up, it's real weird. And that's not just around Nip's death, that's around the Rolling 60s in general. You know, you got Sue Surf, Rolling 60 battle rapper. He gets locked up on a RICO
Jersey.
charge.
Jersey,
Jersey,
yep.
but there's a video. He real tight with Big U.
Yeah,
And
he's in the
then
background at a battle shit.
again, so y'all was already, this is how I look at it. Y'all was already about to come under fire. You got Nip doing his thing with Vector 90. You got Nip doing this thing with the work. He's working with the police. That's a known fact. Like he's trying to clean his hood up at the end of the day. And from a OG standpoint, from somebody like Big U that doesn't serve time, and that's just not something you do. Then you got the situation with Khaled, but I think this has been brewing for a while. On the marathon, he got a diss track to Big U. So it's just like this has been brewing for a while and it finally spilled over. That's my idea of it. I think the Fed's gonna come for all of them, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see Nip name or Ermias ask them. I wouldn't be surprised if his
Hmm.
name pops up on a couple of
Uh,
affidavits.
All right, stay on that real quick. So
Mhm.
you brought it up. Sue Surf, one of my favorite battle rappers out of Jersey. We got what's the name of that crew? I don't know where they're from, but they're down with NBA Youngboy. They're the ones that OTF got into it with.
I can't
Um,
remember. I know
Quando
you talking
Rondo is
about.
his name.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Quando
yeah,
Rondo.
yeah, yeah.
So I guess his clique is rolling 60s as well from
Oh,
their
oh,
city.
allegedly, allegedly. Only reason I say
Alleged.
that is because what Rondo was like, I don't do that no more. That's the only reason I say that.
Yeah, yeah, but they did get indicted on some gun charges. I think he's locked up
Okay,
actually now.
okay,
Um, so it goes to that extortion, that check-in thing. Like I don't
yeah,
right. So after supposedly the situation happened with Little Pat, that's when Quando Rondo denounced the '60s,
yeah.
right? So does that got to do with that politic of pay for protection? Maybe he didn't check in. They green light that situation on Quando, where allegedly OTF made the hit, right? Um, back to Nipsey and Big U. I'm just trying to connect dots because indictments were coming. The Sue Surf Jersey indictment that happened like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
He's like 3 years into a 6 year bid. Um, Big U allegedly in this new indictment killed a rapper, a football player who was a rapper who allegedly dissed him. You brought up Nick Hussle diss Big U. Story
Yep.
goes, Big U asked him, "Was that this song about me?" Song about me. Nipsey Hussle says yes. Big U throws a water bottle at Nipsey. Said, "Let's go outside. We got to get down." In the process of them getting down, I guess what's his name?
Facts.
Fats put him on
Yep.
his
Yep.
ass.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So Fats gets murked. Nipsey gets murked. Um, do you think I don't think it's a coincidence. Do you think it's a coincidence?
No, not at all. Not at all. And on top of that, on top of that, I think it runs pretty deep. I don't think it stops at that situation. Um, I think I think Big U has some mastermind stuff going on as far as a plan to have that whole situation happen. Only reason I say that is because Black Sam had kind of spoke on it when he said, when Hustle pull up, everybody's strapped. So when you talk about like, oh, well, he shouldn't have been in the hood, it wasn't like he was in the hood unprotected. You know what I'm saying? When Nipsey pull up to this store, we know where we at. Everybody's strapped. Black Sam was, I got my gun on me. Such and such got their gun on them. He should be good. When the situation goes down, how come don't nobody got a gun on them? Like, this don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like something ain't right. Then on top of that, you just so happen to be outside the store instead of in the store. Like I get you hanging out, you hanging out, but who for what? This man just came home from jail. Two of your people just came home from jail. Cowboy just came home from jail, and what's his name? The one that murked him. He's drawing a
Eric
blank.
Holder.
Eric Holder just came home from jail at the same time. Cowboy been locked up for a minute. They just got out at the same time and both popped up. No guns around. No, I'm not going. So yeah, I think it was like I said before. I think it was brewing, and I think everything that was strategic and it was deeper than what it looked like. But I think Big U planned everything.
Orlito. Oh, he took his.
Yeah, my
Can you
headphones
hear
died,
me?
but I could hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. So Orlito, so around the time Nipsey signed his Atlantic deal, he severed ties with Big U. He drops that victory lap, and then a year, like less than a year later, he gets, the situation. He gets murdered, right? Big U states on several platforms about how he, like Nick said, he doesn't talk about Nipsey in a loving way. He always talks about this situation they had, and that nigga, this is my land. This is my piece of rock I'll fall for, and etc. Kind of
Yep.
like I'm the big dude here, right? Type shit. Hearing all of this and what he just got indicted for, we haven't seen the rest of this indictment be unsealed, but as far as fetched, he has something to do with this, with Nipsey Hussle being murdered.
Yeah, I thought that from um when I heard that. So the Crenshaw,
Yep.
he ended up like buying the trademark or like the logo to that shit. You know what I'm saying? As soon as Nipsey died, and he tried to end up trying to grab the marathon clothing as well, but I guess somebody else ended up grabbing it before he could.
A female.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that was definitely tension and I never really seen Big U kind of give dude like his like good like flowers. You know what I'm saying? It was always kind of
Yep.
a backhanded compliments.
Facts. So yeah, man. So I will give my take. I will say this much, man. Big U got his hands full as it is, and if somehow, some way, his name get implicated in that, like it was a murder for hire type shit, yeah, I won't be surprised if he gets on death row or something. They still got it in California, man, because he did what, like 20 years prior, I think it was, or
Yep.
14 years,
Yep.
14.
I don't know. He
So
did.
yeah,
He did. I know he was. And this is another thing. I mean, I'm surprised. I shouldn't say surprised, but I'm surprised that nobody talked to Corrupt about anything because he was Corrupt's manager first, like
before he
long
went to
time ago.
death row, before he went
Yeah.
to death row.
So that's why I'm surprised. I mean, again, maybe I don't know. I thought Corrupt might have said something. Somebody would have asked him something, anything. Um, but it we'll see how the Rico plays out. I guess I'll say that.
Yeah, we'll see how that play out, man. Orlito be back with us. He's having technical difficulties. But yeah, man, I wanted to bring you on because I know we discussed MC here and there, and you always showed that interest whenever we did bring them up, and I thought today would have been a perfect time to have our episode on the eve of his passing, or not passing,
Yeah.
but when he was gunned down. And we appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you coming on, talking with us, your insights, sharing your thoughts and opinions, and even bringing up certain topics like that Big U, because it totally flew over my head. But yeah, that's a case that uh, them stories gonna develop soon, because
Yeah.
they got it was 177 pages last week, and today, if I'm not mistaken, they unveiled 43 new counts been unsealed. So yeah, man, that's crazy.
I mean, my
And,
thing was, and when we even talked about it earlier, I went back to look at the Hustle in the House video, and I'm like, okay, I see Cowboy, but he don't never shout Cowboy out. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I'm looking at everybody that speaks on him to see what they say. Like I'm looking for Loose Cannon, I'm looking for Brick Baby, like I'm looking for everybody because whoever in this video was probably the real day one. And you know what I'm saying? It's certain people I didn't see. So that's why I say what I say. It's just a conspiracy theory. And like you said, all them pages, we gonna hear about it some more. But yeah, bro, I
yeah,
appreciate y'all tapping in with me, man. I appreciate y'all inviting me on, man.
for sure, bro.
Absolutely.
And like we said earlier, bro, man, whenever you can, just chop it up with us. You be the third co-host with us. You know what I'm saying?
And
So
Hell yeah.
before we let you up out of here, again, appreciate all the love and support, all the engagement, bro. The likes, the shares, we see that, bro. You part of the family. And anything you want to say before we let you up out of here?
yeah, hustle and motivate. That's all I can say.
Mhm.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right, y'all.
For
Y'all be
sure,
good,
bro.
man.
Peace.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Peace. There we have Mike. We back. Just the two of us. The hostess if we. Nah, just saying, man. Y'all didn't know I could say what I want to, man. But man, that was a great dialogue. What you thought about that, brother?
What happened?
What you thought about the dialogue with Ann Daniels, brother?
Oh yeah, it was great. He always is very engaging, so I already knew it was gonna be a good conversation with him.
For sure, bro. I thought so too. It was the right episode to bring him on. But let's see what we have over here. I got I gotta let y'all know something. I never listened to a second of this man's music. I will be bullshit. I say I know one of his songs. Nothing wrong with that, bro.
Hey, you should do yourself a favor, bro. Uh, Study that person from Ontario, Canada. He's way better than dude. Check him out.
Rondo Orlando. It might be wrong. Okay, cousin, my little
Shout out, little cuz.
deal. Yolanda drops tomorrow. Yo, we were just talking about Yolanda, and yeah, that Dirk album finally drops tomorrow. I don't know what the hell happened 2 weeks ago when they uploaded some project on Little Dirk's YouTube channel called Deep Thoughts, but that wasn't the official project. But shout out Bruno, Isai, Joey, Reno, and everybody else tapped in with us. All right, man, we ain't gonna keep you on here much longer, but Nipsey Hussle ain't the only legend off the West Coast that we have lost throughout the years, man. So let's do this. Born and raised in
Compton.
California, he held the West Coast and gangsta rap to the mainstream. CEO of Ruthless Records, and founding member of the iconic rap group NWA. We talking about the legendary hip hop thugster, the Godfather of gangsta rap, Eazy motherfucking E, y'all. Orlito, man. What? Tell me about your thoughts on Eazy E. Because I know.
What happened?
No, go ahead.
No, shit, my thoughts on Easy E, bro. He fucking uh he's an icon, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of shit tied to him, to his legacy. If he wouldn't have been around, there's certain shit we wouldn't have, you know, Bone Thugs being one of them. So yeah, definitely a humongous figure in the rap scene.
Facts, man. Part of the legendary group NWA. Sold 10 million records with them. Then sold 5 million records on his own, and he did that from 1987 to 1995. Let's run down through some of this. I am frozen on the computer. Give me a second. I don't know what the hell's going on, but give me a second, man. All right, I'm back, y'all. I don't know what the
Now
hell
I'm
happened.
frozen.
Oh no, you're yeah, my computer froze up like a motherfucker. Yeah, so the legendary Eazy E, 1987, NWA and the Posse. One of the biggest songs to come off this gold selling project was Boys in the Hood, A and Dope Man. You might hear them being remade by T.I. and other artists in later years. 1988, he would drop his first solo project, Eazy Does It, with 2 times platinum. Songs on there, Nobody Move, Eazy Does It, We Want Eazy, you know, famous Boys in the Hood remix. 1989, NWA, groundbreaking project, straight out of Compton, 3 times platinum. Considered the most controversial, influential, greatest albums ever. Straight Outta Compton features F the Police, Gangsta, Express Yourself, and Dope Man Remix. We go into
Express yourself.
1990, NWA without Ice Cube, Yeah, for sure. We're gonna touch on some of these songs. 1990, 100 Miles and Running, One Time Platinum, NWA without Ice Cube. Then the following year they would drop Ninjas for Life, One Time Platinum, where it says Ninjas for Life, Real Ninjas, Less Bitch, and I'd rather F you. One Less Bitch was a song to Ice Cube. Like I mentioned, he left NWA. Then in 1991, on the eve of Halloween, Ice Cube would diss NWA with the No Vaseline, and that would dismember NWA. But
Damn.
around this time, um, Dr. Dre would leave, Ice Cube already left, and what's crazy was what was how do I say into superstardom, which it did. In a sense, kind of fucking revived Eazy-E, who Eazy-E to me at this time, his label was suffering with artists leaving, and he really wasn't a great rapper. He was a great artist, right? Because when Cube used to pen his shit and whatnot, but he really didn't write his shit. But Dr. Dre and Snoop
Mhm.
Dogg with this Dr. Dre, Eazy-E on F with Dre Day, right? And this was supposed to be a celebratory moment for Dr. Dre, which it was, but it fucking launched the rebirth of Eazy and Ruthless Records. He would drop real motherfucking G's to me, which was a counter, and I think to me was a better song than F for Dre Day. He had the Dr. Dre wannabe wearing lipstick and etc. It kind of revived Eazy-E, and like you said, Bone Thugs and Harmony. It relaunched his record company because around this time he launched Bone Thugs and Harmony, who to me is my favorite rap group of all time. So considered the greatest rap group of all time. He launched my favorite rap. You know what I'm saying? So then in March 26, 1995, at the age of 31, Eazy-E would succumb to his death from HIV and AIDS. Eazy-E, you said legend icon. I'm gonna go through. Which one you said express yourself,
Yeah, I
right?
like that song.
Me too. And what's crazy about it is they get this rep for just launching gangster rap, but express yourself. If you ask me, if you listen to that, it's more conscious rap. It's more of a
Mm-hmm.
conscious rap. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
he don't get credit for that. Like let's talk about it, right? Um, you brought up Bone Thugs and Harmony, but I could go back as far as to say, um, Dr. Dre, helped launch Dr. Dre because Dr. Dre came from the World Class Wrecking Crew. He launched Ice
Mm-hmm.
Cube, right? Um, just NWA Family Tree from Ruthless Records, Above the Law, Bone Thugs and Harmony. Um, then if you look what Dr. Dre did, if there wasn't no Eazy, there would have been no Dre. Then take away everything that came after Dre, the Eminem's, the 50 Cent. So Eazy legacy,
Mm-hmm.
if it wasn't for what he did, or for sure he was the guy on the forefront for the West Coast. What what's some of your favorite Easy E songs and moments?
I like the diss track, Real
Yeah,
Motherfucking G's. That's that
yeah, bro.
shit. That beat is just so iconic, and just the way that it starts and just everything about that song is dope to me. Um, there's Express Yourself. There's the one that the one that blew up, the first one, Dope Boy
Dope man.
or Dope Man. Yeah, Dope Man. It's not about a salary. It's all about that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Um, yeah, bro. You know what's crazy is like, and I'm sure a couple people this in. I'm sure I know Isai for sure is gonna know what I'm talking about. I'm sure Nunu's probably gonna know what I'm talking about. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, bro. Radio Los Santos. They used to play like certain songs, like they used to play Express Yourself. They used to play Dope Man. They used to play, it was like a radio station on the game, made for the game, and it played like all of these, like it based in like Los Angeles, you know what I'm saying? It was a pretty dope ass dope ass radio station.
It's dope. They had what was the movie with Chris Rock? TB4 parody of NWA. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to that real motherfucking G's. The reason why I think that song resurrected Eazy-E. Like I think that was Austin Powers getting his mojo back, right? Because No Vaseline put a dent in their armor, and then Ice Cube, who is your top writer, DLC, they all gone. Dr. Dre leaves your label. So for him to be able to do that real motherfucking G's and not like, how do I put it? Like, it was supposed to be over with, right? Because Death Row's the new thing. Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg's the new thing. This Dr. Dre's debut album is supposed to be this big rollout, and it did great. It's considered one of the greatest projects, The Chronic. I'm not debating that. But your kill shot didn't work because it, in a sense, resurrected this guy's career because Ruthless Records' legacy will live on after Eazy-E's death because the numbers Bone Thugs and Harmony done, right? But real motherfucking G's, man. The video, how he did the Dr. Dre shit, wearing lipstick and whatnot. It was just ultimate reaching fire, you know what I'm saying? So I always look at that as it wasn't over for E. But some of my favorite
Yeah,
songs, man.
and like the iconic line too is a lot of people didn't really like know is like what he says like something about what he said something about like Dre Day only got easy payday. You know what I'm saying? Because of like the contractual, like what happened behind the contractual agreement, like he was still supposed to get paid for like what five or six
Albums.
albums, right? Yep.
Albums.
Which is a wild fucking deal, bro. Like, yeah, I'll sign, I'll let you sign, dude, but I'll get a percentage off of six albums that he yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, man. Eazy-E legacy for sure, man. At West Coast, he put the West Coast on his back. Like he got the world's attention. NWA was for sure controversial. What they did with F the Police, had the government on gas. But I want to take it to one of his later verses before we get up out of here. But we got Crazy Bone, Lazy Bone, Busy Bone, Flesh Bone, Wishbone, and For the Love of Money. What we thinking about Eazy Bone, bro?
Right.
Eazy did the motherfucking shit on that shit, man. One of the more legendary collaborations that I forgot about, man. And how could I forgot about that one? What's your thoughts on that track? Because that was one of his final collaborations and shit.
The crazy thing about that track that I always tell everybody is like it's wild his verse is so iconic considering that everybody on the song and rapping like that and shit, and this nigga come off staying on the corner straight slang around. Oh, because the motherfucker got just super swaggy with it. You know what I'm saying? Like not giving no fucks. Like, but I'm not finna try to rap fast or nothing on this motherfucker. I'm just finna
had the braids.
Yeah, that shit.
That's the first time I seen E without his curls and shit, without the perm. Any braids. I'm like, this for sure Eazy Bone. No, man, but before we close up out of here, I just wanted to say the topics, two legendary artists, two iconic artists, two West Coast artists, gone too soon, but both left lasting mark, right? Left a legacy behind that we can still talk about to this day. But on the Nipsey Hussle, I would like to say the story behind that, or not the story, but the what's the word I'm looking for? Well,
The
what you could
learning
take,
moment.
yeah, there you go. What you could take from Nipsey Hussle's murder is no matter how comfortable you think you are, or how comfortable or how much you think you loved or whatnot, you're not safe nowhere and you can't trust nothing. He thought he was gonna be able to go to his store, take care of some business, and go back home. But that wasn't the case on that Sunday. Eazy, he was a rock star, rap star, right? But he lived a life where, he indulged in a lot of unprotected sexual activities, they say, allegedly, right? Because later on they would say, they might have protected him with. But what we can take away from this is, you can't trust nothing or no one. So be cautious about your surroundings at all times. That's
Mm-hmm.
my message or my final thoughts on tonight's episode because, like I said, Nipsey Hussle thought he was good where he was at. And I'm sure Eazy didn't think when he went into that hospital, the last thing he thought that the doctor was going to tell him he had HIV/AIDS or HIV and then later
Right.
died from AIDS. So
Right.
protect
And
yourself at
and
all
and
times.
and and he passed away pretty quick after he announced that he was sick, right? Like 10
Facts.
days? Like this
Yeah,
shit's crazy.
quick. And that's something else. Like maybe we could do like iceberg of hip hop, where we uncover or discuss what is it called, conspiracies, because it's always that
Mm-hmm.
conspiracy that maybe he was injected with it. Because if
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mistaken, obviously Suge Knight made claims to this, but
And the night
there's a lot
show,
of
yeah.
things, But Jerry Heller was fired at this time. That was Eazy's former manager at the time. And then he married Tamika Wright on his deathbed, I believe. So, there's a lot to unpack with Eazy's death, but we just, we'll get into that some other time. But we just wanted to honor the legendary West Coast artists, both of them. And I just wanted to share what I thought about both of their deaths. But go ahead, Orlito, man. Handle your business with the shout outs and take us home, Mano.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Excuse me. Appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight. Special thank you to and Daniels. It was great having you, bro. And you heard no, same with me. You always welcome, man. Just let us know you always welcome to come up on here and chop it up with us.
Nice.
Um, and appreciate everybody that engaged. I see Deborah Hernandez, Nunu, and Daniel Isai, Cardio, Eddie, Joey D, Reno, the Dawn, and whoever watched us on YouTube. And if y'all guys do get a chance, please go to YouTube and hit the subscribe button. For us, that would be dope as ever, bro. I appreciate that 100 times over. Yes. So we finna get up out of here. And we won't be seeing you next Thursday unless I make like a surprise, like just make a surprise little, and we chop it up for like 15 minutes real quick and just see what it's like. You never know what to expect
Nunca
with us
sabe, nunca
because,
sabe.
yeah, because, we're the boss. So we don't got to ask anybody.
Nobody. It's
Nobody.
our
So,
network.
yeah, we might see you next Thursday. We might not. But if we don't see you next Thursday, we'll see you the following Thursday. Everybody have a blessed night. Take care. Have a great weekend. And yeah, peace.
Cut this off, man.